Welcome to the Future Tour podcast. This is episode, I don't know what episode this is, honestly, to be fair. But, my name is Lucas Carmichael. I'm the host. Tonight, I have a very special guest with me. Introduce yourself.
How's it going, guys? My name is Ryan Monn. I play for Team Ledgestone, Team Discraft, and Drive Bags, as well as Circle One Discs. How's it going today, Lucas?
It's going pretty good, man. It's going pretty good. It's been beautiful weather outside. Been actually able to play disc golf, here in
That's
Colorado,
good, yeah.
which has been, snow on the ground. So we finally had a decent week. I wanted to start it off. I kind of wanted to talk a little to you about, your family. Obviously you have a very competitive family, and I think that's super cool. Just tell me a little bit, about the dynamic between you and your brother Jake, and even your brother Adam. I mean, your brother Adam, he's sneaky good, dude. So just tell me a little bit how that works.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the youngest in my family. Adam is the oldest. Jake is the middle child. I would say Jake is currently the best at disc golf, then me, then Adam. But Adam goes to college, so he's going to get like an actual job. So,
Yeah.
I started off playing in like 2020. They started off playing like 2017. So they definitely got a little bit more of a head start. They also had the physical advantage to start off. But yeah, I like to travel. I traveled with Jake for 2 weeks down in Tallahassee and Bainbridge in Georgia.
Yeah.
So I got to test that out a little bit. So it's been fun so far.
That's super cool. That's super cool, man. Like, honestly, that's awesome to have brothers like that. So when you and your brother Jake play, on average, give me out of 10, how many times do you think you're getting them, man? I gotta know.
Where are we playing is a very big question.
Yeah. Honestly, give me a perspective from in the woods and like in the open course.
All right, I would say if we're playing this course around our house called Pipeline, I would probably say he gets me 6 times or 7 times. I get him 4 times. We got to this course called Holston Creek, which is a much more open course. He probably gets me 8 times. So he still gets me. He's a little more distance than I do, but I do think I'm a better forehand player than him, and on days a better putter.
For sure. So that's pretty cool. Would you say the courses near your house are just really wooded? I mean, I'd assume with the woods. Are you both woods disc golfers?
I would say I am predominantly a wood disc golfer. He's kind of branching out now. He's been on tour a little more. But we do have some semi-open courses. Obviously, none of them are wide open like you guys have there in Colorado.
Yeah.
Every course is going to have at least 6 wood holes. I mean, it's always going to be 1/3 wooded. I don't know a course near me that doesn't have trees in play on 66% of the holes. So definitely tough to practice courses like Toboggan that we face each other on.
Yeah.
But always good to play other courses that I enjoy here. I definitely enjoy to be in the woods more than out in the open.
Yeah, for sure. That's awesome. So just kind of rolling into that. Since you're North Carolina, right? Not South Carolina, or are you South Carolina?
I am South Carolina, yeah.
Okay. How would you describe really the level of play around South Carolina? I know, like, obviously, just from what I've seen and who I've known to come out of South and North Carolina, is the comp like, what are you having to shoot at like a local seats here, or are you having to play crazy hot, or?
I would say so. Normally, we don't have many people, like highly rated people besides me and this guy named Rico there. He's probably around 1,000 rated. But that's just because everybody else who's higher rated in our area is on tour for most of the year. There is some local A tiers that happen towards the end of the year that get more people to come out. I know I took down the Hub City Halloween Open this year, which had Joel Freeman was in the field, Micah was in the field, Rico, who I just mentioned, was in the field, Jake Wolf, Brett Hanu. I think my brother Jake wasn't playing because he was dealing with a shoulder injury. But things like that, you have to average around probably the 10:30, 10:35 to win the A tiers, and probably around that 10:15, 10:20 mark to win the C tiers. So nothing astronomical, but definitely have to play some good golf.
Still pretty good. That's still pretty stiff competition, honestly. For Colorado, like honestly, like, we have Joe Revere, the Masters guy who's, he's probably 10-40. I think he's 1040 rated now, honestly, which is that wouldn't shock about. So playing against him, I don't know, just it makes you appreciate the game, just stick, like, even it helps you, honestly. It helps you grow up really fast. by playing against guys that are just so much better than you. So definitely, that's super cool though. That that you have some pretty good competition down there.
Yeah, I would say
So
having people
yeah,
like Joel near you and as well as
hmm
Joe, that definitely helps
yeah,
elevate your own game because you have to play against tough competition. That's what you're going to see out on tour and at higher up events.
exactly.
You're going to have to play those people who are just super consistent and never really seem to mess up. It seems like, but
Yeah.
that just makes you get a little more competitive drive and try to find those strokes where you can.
For sure, for sure. So kind of rolling into, I actually wanted to talk about toboggan and USADGC. What are your thoughts on toboggan? How do you like that course? How did it feel for you?
I would say this. Jake told me before I played toboggan, you're gonna like it a lot when you play it first time, and you're gonna like it a lot less when you keep playing it, just because that's our
Yes.
style of play. That because that is not our style of play. Um,
Yeah, for sure.
so with that being said, I loved the layout we played for USADGC. I think it was simple, it was attackable, but also still had some teeth to it. I
hmm
liked that one a lot. I played toboggan when we were at AmNats 7 times, and we were there for 7 days. Probably played it actually 8 times.
Yeah.
Um,
hmm
but then when I played D-Glow, I didn't like it as much because there's a lot more OB, a lot more tougher, longer T pads, a
Yeah.
little more harder, a little more less scoreable. But I
hmm
would say it's still a fun course to play.
Yeah. For sure. I do toboggan's awesome, man. Toboggan, kind of like what we have up in the mountains. I mean, we have a little bit of mountain golf. Just throwing way downhill, like hole one, for example, just so far downhill that this just glides forever. We have a few of those holes here, and those are all awesome. Those are super fun. But I think toboggan, and you played well out there. You played well out
Mm-hmm.
there. So kind of rolling into that. Actually, I kind of wanted to jump straight into it and ask, how are you feeling on, let's go from 17th tee all the way up to 18th basket on
Mm-hmm.
in the final round.
Mm-hmm. Definitely a range of emotions. Obviously, you can
hmm
probably say the same for yourself there. Um,
For sure.
yeah, I was obviously happy. I was surprised. I felt kind of sad for you
hmm
as well. Um, it almost didn't feel like I kind of won the event. I heard that a lot. I heard that being thrown out. I heard Ryan
hmm
didn't win the event; he got handed the event, and
hmm
partly true, not really.
hmm
Obviously, we always played. Me and you were. I don't know how far we were above Ross. I think we were like one stroke above Ross until 17,
hmm
and he kind of
Yeah.
fell off. Ross was sneakily in it. Can't lie.
Yeah. Yeah, he was,
Um,
especially with that ace. That ace
yeah.
was so insane.
Then I
That
had to
was
throw
so
next.
nasty.
I remember a
Yeah.
funny story about that. My mom didn't see
Mhm.
Ross throw. Oh, didn't see. She thought I was Ross.
Oh,
She
yeah.
thought I aced.
Oh, no.
So then
Oh,
she
that's
came. I walked down the hill, and she was like, "Did you just make it?" I was like, "No, I'm in the woods 50 long." Um, so funny
uh,
there, but yeah,
yeah.
yeah, definitely a ride on that one. UCGC
Yeah.
was definitely a fun tournament though. Always fun battling
Mhm.
out with you and people who are more skilled. I kind of thought it was going to be a me and you battle leading up to that tournament.
Yeah.
So I guess we got
Yeah,
what we
for
expected.
sure. Yeah, exactly, exactly. So moving on from that, I think just going straight into junior worlds. Junior worlds, obviously, I believe, you were. I mean, obviously, you were the toughest competition for me there.
Mhm.
Um, just and like the courses fit your game so well. Like really,
Yeah, they
like
do.
how'd you feel about Black Hawk and Post Oak
Yep.
and just those courses?
I knew I was gonna play well Blackhawk. That was the thing
Yeah.
I kept saying to
hmm
myself during the entirety of round one. I wasn't playing great round one. I think I shot like a 7 under or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. It
hmm
wasn't great. But then I shot the hot round of Blackhawk, and there was just something about that course where I knew I could play good because it just set up for me. I
hmm
like to think I'm a very good par four player. If
hmm
you give me a par
For
four
sure.
in the 650s to 700 feet, I'm most likely going to birdie it. And that's a
Yeah.
lot of that course. I mean, from hole two to hole, I believe it's 5 or 4, it's all par fours that are shorter.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I feast
Exactly.
on those. So
Mhm.
definitely one I thought could play well. Hickey Creek was the outlier there.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely needed a little more distance at Hickey Creek to score well.
Mhm.
I didn't score it horrendously, but definitely didn't enjoy that one as much as the other two courses.
Yeah. Yeah, that's funny. That's funny that you say that because I actually really enjoyed Hickey Creek.
There you go. There's the two.
There you go.
There's the difference of
Yeah.
play styles right there.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. How did that feel? I mean, really, I wasn't even in the final nine. I don't we don't need to talk about what I was doing at Junior Worlds, honestly. But how did you feel coming into the final nine? You had like a massive lead, didn't you, in the
I think
final
it was
nine?
yeah, I think it was 13 strokes.
Yeah. Hmm.
I think I was down by like 5 after the first round or something
Yeah.
like that. I was up 1, up 7, up 10, up 13. And I
Hmm.
believe I won by 10 or something around there. But yeah,
Yeah.
I remember talking to my mom again before the 5th round. She said she was nervous when I had a 9-stroke lead. And
Yeah.
I was a little confused by that. I was like, how is that even possible?
Yeah.
But
Hmm.
nah, she said she wasn't worried when I had 13 going into the final 9. I was just trying to
Yeah,
play.
for
I was
sure.
just kind of trying to play for highlights out there. I was going after a
Hmm.
lot of things. So the score didn't reflect too well, but didn't rate, so doesn't really
Yeah.
matter.
Yeah, for sure. So on 18, I know 18 at Post Oaks, that little island, right? Did you have any
Mhm.
nerves at all, like throwing that shot, or is it just, like free flowing and,
Yeah,
just easy?
I was trying to ace the hole actually.
Yeah.
But I ended up not acing it. But there was a guy in the water who went and got my disc.
Oh,
So
there you
shout out
go,
to that
man.
guy. I'm not sure of his name,
Hmm.
but if you're watching this, thank you very much. I
Yeah.
got my swarm back. But yeah, I was trying to ace it, but then I just because I was like,
Hmm.
I mean, I was up by 12 at that point or something,
Hmm.
so I
For
just
sure.
pitched up from the drop zone and tapped it in for the win.
Yeah. That's super cool. Congrats, man. That's awesome. Moving into the last major, Am World. I was not at Am World. So I'm very curious to know. I heard mixed opinions about what was going on at Am Worlds with the courses and stuff.
Uh,
How did you feel about the courses?
um, Here's a situation where the course played to my strength, and I didn't enjoy them too well.
Mm-hmm.
It was weird. I would say if I had to rank all the courses that we played this summer for the AM majors, I mean, I'm putting Toboggan one. Everything else is behind that. But I
Yeah.
think most of the AM Worlds courses fall to the bottom. Um,
Yeah.
where I've shot my highest rate around was round 4 at AM Worlds. I shot a
Mm-hmm.
15 under at Johnson Park. It was like 1079. That
Gee, that's
course,
awesome.
I'm going to say it, the course we should not have played for a major championship. It
Yeah.
was a par 54 pitch and putt. That's not a major championship
Oh,
course.
yeah.
As much as that favors me, and I think that was a fun casual course, not a great
Yeah.
tournament course at all. We
Mm-hmm.
know most people don't like to sign up for those par 54 courses around at home
Yeah.
unless that fits your game. But for the other two courses, I think the course we played once was probably the best course we played. I think it was Follisburg. Definitely was the
Mm-hmm.
most fun. Definitely the
Yeah.
most true. Wasn't fluky at all. Brew was
Yeah.
fine. It was just like felt very repetitive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But just like was the courses for Am Worlds a mix? Was it literally just short, like wide open chip shots, or was it wooded, or literally just
Uh,
like a mix of both? Or
Follisburg, the course we played once, was pretty wooded, I would say.
mm-hmm.
Besides, like hole one was semi-open,
Yeah.
but then it went into the deep woods. Johnson was just your normal like think of any semi-wooded pitch and putt par three. That's that course.
Yeah.
And then Brewer was pretty open on the front nine that we played, and the back nine got a little more wooded, but nothing crazy. Like it was
Mm-hmm.
like I think you would probably destroy that course if we're being honest,
Yeah.
because like
Yeah.
the first like set like 8 holes or 9 holes are just wide open. You have to hit one gap on hole nine, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like you're just gonna pop a spike hyzer out there every time you play.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
definitely didn't fit my game too
Mm-hmm.
well, but I survived. I made up for it
Yeah.
at the other courses, which is kind of the theme I had during the multiple course majors. I
Yeah.
played to my strengths on the other courses.
Yeah, for sure. Man, that's awesome, dude. Congrats. That's super. That
Appreciate it, man.
obviously nobody else has ever done that, so that's
Uh-huh.
super cool. So that's awesome. Yeah, and I actually did see you got the Brixton card too. That is, dude. Congrats on
Yeah, I
that.
have
That's
one.
super
I have
cool.
one downstairs. I don't have one in my room for some reason. What am I doing? I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. You needed that one to pull up.
Yeah.
Dude, I honestly want one, dude. Those are super
Hey,
sick.
what's your first tour event?
My first tour event is Waco.
Okay, do you play in MCO?
Yeah,
Music
yeah, I
City?
am. I'll be at Music City. Yes.
I'll get you one there.
Heck yeah, dude. I'm definitely gonna need one for sure.
Yeah, I got
So
you.
All right. Well, those are the AM majors. I
Mhm.
also wanted to talk to you a little about, how is kind of training, what is like your training schedule for, obviously we're both going to be on tour next year and I know my
Mhm.
training schedule, but I would love to know what you're doing to, prepare for the tour this year.
Yeah, this offseason was big on the backhand form. I like to think my
Mm-hmm.
backhand form this year wasn't the greatest. It worked for shorter courses, as I said earlier, but the
Yeah.
power shots were not in my favor.
Mm-hmm.
Now I got up to about 470 controlled, which is pretty much
Mm-hmm.
all you need out there on tour for
Yeah, for sure.
90% of the courses. So I'm happy about that. I just finished a tournament up in North Carolina yesterday, and that distance definitely helped out on some of the holes. I ranged a shot, and it was like 440, and I parked it. It was
Mm-hmm.
uphill. I was like,
Heck yeah, dude.
no way I could have done that last year.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely feels good. But putting is the thing I like to give myself the most credit for.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. For sure.
I made a big move. I switched putters this offseason. I was originally playing with
Really?
Challenger OS. Now I'm playing with the
Mm-hmm.
DGA Sonar. Um, just I wasn't putting like
Yeah.
myself in December. Um,
Mm-hmm.
my circle one percentage dropped a lot, so
Mm-hmm.
I guess the mental switch kind of helped too. But yeah, I probably putt. I would say anywhere close to 30 to 45 minutes a day. Nothing insane.
Mm-hmm.
Just something to keep the putt fresh, but not overdo it. I'm a
Yeah.
big believer in not overdoing practice. You can kind of get burnt out and
Yeah. For
kind
sure.
of see things. You try to tweak it a little too much. Throwing just kind of consists of maybe once a week, go to the field, see what's feeling wrong, see what's feeling
Mm-hmm.
right, see what's feeling good, see what's feeling bad, and then just playing
Yeah.
the course. Keeping the score around, trying to see what I can do out there, trying to kind of treat it like a tournament. So
Yeah.
that's pretty
For
much what I
sure.
do.
Mhm. So that's pretty cool. What was it about your putters? What like are you more of I'm not familiar with the putters you mentioned.
Mhm.
Are you more of a overstable and less glide kind of guy, or are you more of a straight and glidey?
Yeah, I think I'll try to put it into dismayed terms here. The Challenger OS was close to a link, maybe a little more
Mhm.
rounded,
Yeah.
and the sonar is similar to a P2X.
Yeah.
So I made a switch there. P2X or sonar in my case, a
Yeah.
little more shallow. I can get a little more pop behind it and
Yeah.
get a little more glide, and it has a little bit of a it doesn't have as much
Mhm.
drastic fade at the
Yeah.
end.
Mhm. Okay, that's pretty cool. So we talked about putting. I would actually like to know about your field work. What do you do for field work, really?
It just depends on what's feeling good and what's feeling bad. If something's feeling
Yeah.
good, obviously I'm not going to work on that. Like that's
Hmm.
how logic goes.
Yeah.
Normally I go out there, throw my bag, throw every disc my bag to start, and no, I throw the disc all back and all forward, and then I'm like, okay, this shot didn't feel well with this disc, or this didn't feel good with this
Hmm.
disc, and kind of work from there. Obviously, still trying to work on the back end form. That is the main
Yeah.
focus always.
Yeah.
So
For sure.
that's pretty
Yeah.
much how it goes.
Yeah. Like for me, like honestly, I'm field work is really tough for me. It's super hard to just go out to a field and not I'm very much a visual kind of guy, so I like to see the basket out in the distance and
Yeah,
I
that's
like to
very fair.
throw a certain shot. So I'll just go out to a course and throw my entire bag twice on every single hole and just be out at a course for an hour. But that's I yeah, for sure. That field work is definitely very important. So
Mhm.
yeah. Also, I wanted to ask. So obviously, elevation is such a huge thing for me.
Yeah.
How really from coming from South Carolina is it any different? Like when you go to, I mean, obviously, it probably isn't that much different from like a Supreme Flight Open or a Waco or a Music City. How like
No,
does it affect you much at all?
not at all. Honestly, no
Mm-hmm.
discs fly differently for me where I'm at. I'm sure that's a troubling issue for you. I
Yeah.
would expect you have to take a day to figure out what flies different when you get to a
Mm-hmm.
certain course. So
Yeah.
luckily, I do not have that problem. But I do also respect people from Colorado's game more about that. The fact
Yeah.
that they have to figure out how they just fly every single week,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, nothing really changes wherever I
Yeah.
go. I've never been to Colorado. I've never been
Yeah.
like crazy above sea
For
level.
sure.
Um,
Yeah.
but
Like it's just yeah, for coming from Colorado, just moving down anywhere, like it's so tough. You have to change like all like your disc slot. Like my most overstable will go to a straight disc, and I have to put even more overstability in my bag to kind of fill that void. So but that's yeah, like for sure. Is that and like also for also elevation being such a big issue for me, the weather too. Obviously,
Yeah.
being in South Carolina, is it something where you can be practicing all year round?
Yeah, there's things like that where we got. I mean, I'm sure you guys get a lot of snow. We
Hmm.
got the most we got this year was 3 inches of snow, and that was the first time it snowed in 2 years.
Yeah,
But there's also a thing
that's
where
crazy.
I'm so used to I'm so used to the warm
Hmm.
weather where it gets cold for me. It's still very
Yeah.
cold to my sense
Hmm.
because I'm like, yo, this is not what I'm used to. So
Yeah.
I normally don't go outside unless it's above 25,
Oh yeah.
which is
Hmm.
not often. It's normally above that
Hmm.
every single
Yeah.
day. It's probably been like 5 days down here where it's not been above 25.
Yeah.
Um,
So yeah.
but I did
Yeah.
just come from a tournament where in the one I just talked about in North Carolina, it snowed 5 inches on Wednesday. When I got there on
Hmm.
Thursday, it was the most snow I've ever played disc golf in.
Oh
And
yeah.
yeah, it was. I
Mhm.
lost the disc on the first hole. Got it back though.
Oh
Didn't lose
no.
another one after that.
Yeah. Hmm. So I gotta ask, do you have any plans on coming to Colorado anytime soon? Or, I mean,
Uh,
obviously we don't have the biggest tournaments here, but we do have a couple A tiers such as High Plains Challenge and 303 Open, probably the two most notable ones. But do you have any plans on coming here or even swinging
uh,
through?
Nothing for this year. I'm not
Yeah.
sure. Maybe 303. Is it a Q series? I remember it was a Q series last
It was
year.
a Q Series last year. I'm not too sure if it's a Q Series again this year, but I could be wrong about that. So,
I think that would be the biggest reason why I would come to Colorado would be to play that tournament when
hmm,
it's a Q series. Maybe like this,
yeah.
maybe like the tour swing
Hmm.
buys it.
Yeah.
Um, maybe like that. But I have nothing to come to Colorado anytime
Yeah.
soon, unfortunately.
Yeah. So we were just talking about I just saw on YouTube that you were commentating, right?
I did commentary for Ace Run Pro for the final round at Tallahassee and the entire Bainbridge tournament.
Oh, that's awesome. That's super awesome.
Mhm.
So did you play, was it like you commentating on your own round, or did you just commentate on the entire, like it wasn't just you, like, or
Yeah,
like it was just other people?
the final round at Tallahassee kind of came up in a weird way. It was supposed to be Clay Edwards and Joseph Anderson, Joey Buckets.
Hmm.
Joey Buckets said he didn't really feel like doing it that day, so Clay asked, "Can I bring Ryan?" And they said yes. And
Yeah.
we kind of had a lot of fun doing it.
Hmm.
So then they
Yeah.
invited us back for the entire round at Bainbridge. So I commentated on
Hmm.
myself for the second and third round of Bainbridge, and so it was the only time
Yeah.
I commentated on myself. But I've
Hmm.
commentated before on this
Yeah.
smaller channel, Great Courses of South Carolina. Shout out Vern. But yeah,
Yeah.
I've commentated on myself before there.
Hmm. All right. Well, we just talked about tournaments, so I want to know what are your plans for this year, man? I know that obviously me and you have plans on touring, but
Mhm.
specifically, like I know, are you going to Texas through the Texas swing? I didn't think you were.
Unfortunately, not. I got to take some tests for school,
Yeah. Hmm.
so got to do a lot of that.
Yeah.
So I got two pretty big standardized tests coming up in March that I cannot miss. So I got to
Okay.
take
Yeah.
those.
For
So,
sure. For sure.
but
That's completely understandable.
I'll probably play like maybe like a beach here that weekend or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah. Just something in South Carolina for sure.
Mhm.
But what are your plans for the DGPT? What events are you hitting?
Yeah, I would say a 3/5 tour, like so about
Yeah.
60%. So it's not under 50%, but it's nowhere close to full. Um,
Hmm.
I'm playing Supreme Flight Open, um,
Hmm.
Music City, Kansas City, Champs Cup,
Yeah.
Cascade, Northwest, Disco Championships,
Yeah.
Worlds, Ledgestone, Idlewild, D-Glow is what I have for right now.
Hmm.
But
Okay.
then if I qualify for Green Mountain and MVP, I will obviously go
Yeah.
there. And
Hmm.
obviously, I will try to qualify for UCGC. With that being
Hmm.
so close to my house, I will obviously, even if I don't get in, I will go spectator, caddy
Yeah.
for somebody.
For sure. For sure. Well, Worlds, like Worlds being held overseas this year.
Okay.
Like, are you traveling with your brother? Are you guys gonna go, together? Are you guys staying somewhere, or how? Like, what are your plans for Worlds, really?
For Worlds, my family's going. Everybody in my family, I believe. My mom loves Europe. My dad
Hmm.
wants to go to Europe as well.
Yeah.
And my brother will be freshly out of college, so he will go as well. And obviously, Jake will be
Yeah.
playing. So we all go over there to Discmania Land, I guess you could call it, over
Yeah.
there where they make all the discs.
Exactly. Yeah.
So Yeah, that's
Hmm.
about what I have. But I will be
Yeah.
traveling with Jake for. Uh, I will be staying with him in his RP for all of the
Yeah.
tournaments besides D-Glow and Supreme Flight Open.
Yeah. That's super awesome. Honestly, that it's gonna be a fun one. I don't know for sure if I'm gonna be able to make it this year. I'm gonna try. Obviously, I'm gonna try everything I can. I got an invitation to go,
Yeah,
so but I don't know. It's it's just such a big commitment with being overseas and everything. And so
yeah, exactly.
it's really up in the air for me right now.
Mhm.
But yeah, so kind of moving on from that, I kind of wanted to talk about, you obviously threw Discraft before you were sponsored by Discraft.
Yep.
Um, what, give me a little insight on kind of how, because I know like with my contract with this Mania, is it, and again, you don't have to tell. If you're not allowed to tell, I completely understand. Um, is it a thing where you're getting paid, or is it just purely dis, or is it a like allotment kind of, or what is it?
I have no idea if I'm allowed to say, so I'll not go too much into that
Mhm.
topic. But they do provide me with discs,
Yeah.
and a lot of them exactly. But
Mhm.
Ledgestone is a big factor this year as well. I'm getting my own specially ran disc. We'll start
Mhm.
to decide that after Supreme Flight Open. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's where the discs you can buy and help support me will be at.
Yeah. Heck yeah, for sure, for sure. So here, let me look at my notes real quick. Okay, yeah. So next, I kind of wanted to talk about a little bit more of the, kind of what we were last year. Very high level amateurs. Kind of that group that is looking to take their game to the next level, but quite not isn't quite to the tour level. Do you have any shout outs like to people who were in our position last year?
Who were in our position last year?
Yeah,
I would
or who are in our
say.
position from last
Oh,
year?
okay, I got you. There's this guy Alan Vasquez in my area
Hmm.
who's climbing very quickly.
Yeah.
Davis McMurray. Um, my brother, I think he's playing USADGC because he wants
Oh
to play
yeah, there you
that.
go.
Um,
Hmm.
he enjoyed toboggan a lot, but
Yeah.
nobody else I can really think of in that moment. How about you?
Yeah. Yeah, I got a couple people actually. So I put in my notes. I actually put your brother. I
Mhm.
put your brother to shout out because dude, your brother's such an awesome guy. He was so
Yeah.
cool when I met him. I hope he does. Oh, I hope the best for him, honestly. I also do have Davidson McMurray on there. I have my local guy who's kind of like my Davidson McMurray, I guess if you want to say Caleb
Mhm.
Tucker.
Okay.
I think they're actually
NDT guy.
really
Yeah.
close. Yeah, I think they're really close in rating. Actually, I think they're
Okay.
pretty
Sweet.
pretty similar. So that's gonna be a fun watch. The Barlows, Sawyer and
Oh
Broden
yeah.
Barlow. That
Yeah.
I actually just Sawyer just really pushed me at my last tournament I just played at.
I saw that. Yeah, I
Um,
saw that NDT
yeah.
tour finale. It's crazy
Hmm.
because Broden, his older brother, got second last year
Yeah, I
at tour
know.
finale.
Hmm.
So that's kind of a cool thing that they both did. So
Yeah.
really proud of those guys. They're extremely nice guys.
For sure, dude. They have a lot of potential for sure, man. Like so, even like Sawyer, the younger one, he played amazing, and
Yes.
Broden played amazing last year. I played with him a lot more last year. But very nice family, very nice dad, very nice mom, super, very supportive. So I'm excited
Yep.
to where they go this year. Jaden Torres, I know he's a Texas guy. He won
Didn't he win? Yeah, yeah.
the
NADGC championship.
Austin, yeah, the Austin NADGT championship.
I saw that. Yep.
Um, yeah, so that's, I mean, that's, that's awesome. He's, I think, 15, 14, 15. So or 16 maybe. I don't know. He's somewhere, but he's young. So he's definitely got
Yeah.
time, and I'm excited to see where he goes. I wrote a fun one down. Colton Patterson. I don't know if you remember
Yeah, yeah,
him,
yeah, yeah.
the
The
cowboy
cowboy
hat
hat
guy.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, he was.
He was
I
so.
played with him. Yeah, I played with
We
him out
put.
of the finale, and
Yeah, we
he's a
played
fun
him at
guy.
USADGC. He like
Yeah,
whistled every time he putted, and
yeah,
we I every single time I always looked back. I thought it was somebody like watching us whistling, but
yeah,
it was just him. It was
yeah.
crazy. He wasn't really whistling when we threw, so it didn't
Hmm.
didn't bother me at all.
Yeah. Yeah, he was a super cool guy. So next I kind of wanted to shout out also the people who kind of were with us, I guess you can say like graduated with us into being a pro. I have a few people down like Mason McLean. I know
Yeah, I played
Mason
him at
yeah.
round 3 at M Worlds.
Mm-hmm. So Mason, super cool guy, super cool parents. I
Mhm.
don't really know what he wants to do with disc golf. He might want to take it to the pro tour level. He might not. I'm not in a position to say, but super cool guy. Riven Tanner and Tanner Young,
And also
those
Harrison
two,
Young, which is
or Harrison Young. That's what I meant. Sorry, that's what I
well,
meant.
Tanner Young also he just turned pro this year, but he's also a college disc golf national championship winner as well.
Yeah.
But what I
Mm-hmm.
would say about Riven and Harrison is they're two very young players. The one thing I would say to them is just they just need to improve their putting. That's the
Yeah.
one thing I kind of see in their game as a little bit. I don't want to say lackluster, but it's
Yeah.
definitely hindering them a little more. They throw the
Yeah.
disc incredibly far and incredibly well. So
Yeah.
that's one thing I would
Yeah.
say to them.
I remember playing on 18 or 17 at Toboggan, that really downhill kind of, and then all the way uphill at the end. And I remember bombing my drive. I remember throwing it so hard, and I was like, man, that is crushed. And then getting up there, and Riven and Harrison's drive were like 30 feet past mine. And I was like, all right, well, this sucks. So
Yeah,
that was
they
pretty.
throw the disc. I remember playing with the Ribbon one time it was
Mm-hmm.
first round at USAGC, and he was 130 feet past me on a hole. And I was like,
Yeah.
all right, what is happening?
Yeah, it's pretty unreal to watch them.
Mhm.
So kind of coming off that, do you have any advice for younger players or people who are in our position that we were in? Any advice about like sponsorships or just trying to take it to the next level?
The biggest thing I would say right now is social media. That
Mm-hmm.
helps a lot. Obviously, I know my contract with Disc Golf Underground last year was mine wasn't too social media based, but they are a social media based company. Um,
Mm-hmm.
they want to promote their brand as much as possible, and I would say sponsoring. Yeah, I would definitely say go the social
Mm-hmm.
media route. Tell everybody
Yeah,
what you throw. You know,
yeah,
shout the
for
brands
sure.
out, tag them in posts. They might,
Yeah,
who knows? They might ever see. Can never hurt to try to tag them in a
yeah,
post. Be like, yo, I'm liking my Discraft Buzz. I'm liking my Discbinga MD3 or something like that.
yeah.
The
Mm-hmm.
sponsors might see that and be like,
Yeah,
oh, I think this guy has
for sure,
promise or something like that. Or I think I can
for sure.
sell some more discs for us.
Mm-hmm. All righty. Well, we're kind of wrapping it up here. Do you have any socials that you would like to plug or any sponsors that you would like to plug?
Yeah, I'd like to shout out Discraft. Obviously, they've helped me. I was sponsored them last year, and we decided to
Mm,
run it back again this year because the disc worked so well.
yeah.
I would say Ledgestone, they are new to me this year, but they have already done a lot for me.
Yeah.
Drive Bags is the chalk bag company I use. I
Yeah.
think they're the best
Mm,
in the game. And Circle One Disc always make me look fresh in the course. So
heck
I
yeah, dude.
appreciate them as well.
Yeah, I remember you in that shirt from last year, or the hat from
Yeah.
Circle One. Yeah, dude,
This is
those are
not the
sweet.
same hat, different hat
Yeah.
technically, but
Yeah.
same style.
Yeah. You kept that one though. That one's got all the luck in it.
Yeah, that one's downstairs, I believe.
Yeah. Well, I would like to shout out my sponsors as well. Discmania, Salty Unicorns are probably my two biggest ones. They've helped me so much. And then Future Tour. Future Tour, obviously this is their podcast. Couldn't be doing this without them. Super thankful for them. And yeah, last thing is about the Rookie of the Year.
Okay.
I am super excited. I mean, there's probably going to be some competition for us. I
I
don't
would agree. Yep.
I'm sure there's going to be some guy who's going to come in and challenge us for it, but I'm excited to battle against you for Rookie of the Year, and I think it's going to be a
Me
good
as
battle.
well. I also got one more question for you.
Yeah.
How is the switch going over to all Sweden discs going? Because I was talking to Silas Schultz at
Mm-hmm.
Tallahassee. He told me that with all the new contracts, you have to do that. So I want to know how that's going. I remember you throwing this old PD on hole 3
Yeah.
at Toboggan, just throwing it like
Mm-hmm.
700 feet.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going pretty good. It's a little tough to find exact, like, obviously like some run of the Innova Discmania was like particularly I have trouble finding overstable stuff.
Okay.
But it's Discmania is coming out with a whole bunch of stuff, and so it's getting easier and easier as time goes on to fill every single slot in my bag. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it. So, I mean, thank you guys for listening, and thank you guys for tuning in, and that's all. See you guys later.
Peace out.
Do you feel me?